Hello, welcome to another live stream. My name is Christian Golick, and I'm a video content producer. And if you're new to the live stream, welcome. I do these every other Wednesday, talking about pretty much video and business and incorporating the two. And it ranges from maybe more technical demonstrations, like how to do better Zoom calls, make better videos with your camera, lighting, microphone, all that good stuff. There's that aspect, but then there's also streams that I'll talk about strategy and incorporating videos into your business and how to do it to make money. And that's actually what we're talking about today. We're talking on the strategy about that. And before we get into it, I want to make sure that everything's playing back smoothly on YouTube Live. Let me know in the comments if it's all good. How we sound. I know there's always a delay. This is the hard part. It's like, hey, let me know. And then it's like 12 seconds of silence because of the delay. The joys of live streaming by yourself. Started a little choppy, looks good now. All right, good. That's what I like to hear. I was worried about that. We've had, I mean, for those that have watched other streams, you know that it's been a little bit of a rough start. And I mean, that's the thing is, like, to test live, you have to be live. So this certainly has been a progression of, how do I make things look smoother? How do I give the best experience possible? And I can't do that without doing it. So I appreciate everyone who has watched in the prior streams. I appreciate, I mean, really everyone showing up and bearing with me as I figure this out show by show. So, all right, let's get started. This is going to be a good one. This stream is going to be about, it's going to be about the first piece of video content that I ever made, and that piece of video content made me over $10,000 in 1 week. That, I think I've blasted on social media many times before this stream, so we know what the stream is about. But there's a few reasons why it's like, why this is going to be one of my favorite streams, one of my favorite videos to make, is it articulate this video, this stream here is going to clearly articulate why and how to make videos so that you can make money. We all like making money. But another reason why this is really special to me is because this story is like the turning point in my career that made me go, oh my God, I can make it as an entrepreneur. I can run my own business. I don't need to work a 9-to-5 job. Like this was the turning point of like, yes, I can do this. So it's near and dear to my heart. So I hope everyone enjoys. This is going to be a fun one, and please feel free to put in some questions, some comments, and I'll look at them along the way and, hopefully answer them very well. So in this stream here, I'm going to be breaking down 3 three parts of my story: why I decided to actually make video content, how I made my first piece of video content, and then the result of making it, putting it out into the world, and making a nice chunk of change. So a little bit of backstory. It was like late 2017. I moved into my first apartment by myself. All by myself. I got a 2-bedroom apartment, which, funny enough, the master bedroom became like the studio and the editing space, and then the tiny bedroom, that was where I actually slept. Priorities. So I had this apartment. I was very excited. And a few months before that, I left my 9-to-5 job to pursue my own business, which I was also very excited for. In that time, you know, like my overall expenses were higher and my average income was lower. So my side business, my wedding video side business, which became my full-time business, it needed to pick up. It needed to pick it up, you know? I needed to start making that money. So I certainly was feeling the pressure, and I had lead generation. I had, brides and grooms. I had couples reaching out to me. I subscribed to a lead generation service, the knot.com. They were sending me couples. I had Facebook ads that I was getting couples from. So I had the intake. I had leads coming to me, inquiring about me doing their wedding video. And so I was having those conversations. I would say the quality of my work was above average. The price of my work was below average. So you would think like, oh, well, if you're getting really good work at a low price, people must be booking you left and right. No. Didn't work that way. And this was so early in my career that I didn't understand like pricing psychology and whatnot. So, I mean, in hindsight, it's not surprising that not many people booked me. So I decided to, raise my prices, not necessarily to like match my quality of work, but just like close the gap a little bit. So again, I had leads coming in. I had emails and questions and meetings, and ultimately no one was booking. Which, like, I expected less people would book because, the price is inherently higher. But like I was booking no one. Like I think I went 2 months without booking a single client. And I was just like, oh, the rent's still due. I need to make some money here. Like I need to book clients. I was feeling the pressure. So from that, like during that time, the idea of like making a piece of video content wasn't this unknown concept to me. I mean, after all, I'm a video content producer. I made videos. That's what I went to school for. That's what my profession is in. So it wasn't like this foreign concept, but it just wasn't something that I did. I never got on camera. Like I always thought that my work spoke for itself, and that is certainly not the case. And I'm like thinking, it was really when it was a combination of, having that idea in my head. I was listening to Gary Vaynerchuk, who is a very vocal businessman and influencer, and he loves and preaches up from the mountaintops about doing video, and not like 30-second TV ads, but making video for Facebook and YouTube and LinkedIn and Instagram and Twitter, like making video content of yourself, sharing your expertise, showing your personality, and putting it out there. So I was like, okay. And at this point, the leads were still coming in, the emails were coming in, and the questions were coming in. And I noticed that I was getting some very similar questions from like every single couple. One of them was about raw wedding footage. Like, you know, do we get the raw footage? Do we, you know, do you send that to us? Like, how does that work? And I was just like, I mean, I can, but I'm going to charge you for it because it's an extra asset. It's an extra deliverable. So like, you know, yeah, I could. But what I found was people didn't know what it was. And they didn't know what it was. I tried so hard to explain it via email. Like I'm just typing and typing. And it turned out to be like paragraphs in one single email of like what raw footage is, because people don't know what it is. It is not what it was back in 1992, where you got a guy with a video camera on his shoulder shooting on a VHS tape and like, oh, here's the VHS tape. Like it's not that is not what happens in 2018, not in 2021. Like it's not how it works. So I tried explaining that and it wasn't working. So one day I was like, all right, I'm going to step in front of the camera and I am going to make a video explaining what raw footage is. And I'm going to be very tactful about it and very to the point and make sure that they understand what it is. Because I'm tired of answering these emails. And I did. I went in front of the camera. I made the video. It was okay. It wasn't magical. I didn't like feel this great bit of inspiration of like, wow, I'm an influencer now. Like it wasn't any of that. It was a lot of insecurity. It was a lot of just like, oh, I don't like the way I look on camera. I don't like the way I sound. But I knew that there was a point. I knew that this video had really good content. I knew it was valuable. So I made it. And actually, I'm going to play it right now. It's a little more than 4 minutes long. So sit back, enjoy the ride, and feel free to make fun of early 2018 Christian. I know I certainly do. What's going on, guys? Christian here, and today I'm talking about raw footage, what it is, why there's a charge for it, and whether you think you need it or not. So what is raw footage? Well, raw footage is exactly what it sounds like. It is the footage that comes right out of the camera, and it is raw. Unedited, flat, kind of poor audio, little shaky. So when you get raw footage, it will be on a hard drive or a flash drive, and it will literally look like file numbers. You're gonna see multiple cameras, multiple folders with file numbers that are just gonna say clip 0001, clip 0002, and hundreds more. And it's going to be kind of hard to navigate. You have to click on each one. Maybe you can preview the thumbnails, but it's honestly a huge pain. Depending on the file type, whether it's a MP4, MOV, AVI, there are so many different file formats, and some of them aren't necessarily friendly with some computers. Some of the file types are a little complex for most computers. That's why they need to be handled and edited on an actual editing computer. Another big thing with raw footage is that it is raw footage, not raw footage and audio. So when you click on a clip, it may have audio in it, but chances are it's going to be from the on-camera microphone that is far away and doesn't sound good.
Today, we had a pattern, faster love. lot of videographers record audio with external devices like this, which get really great audio, and it records to a little micro SD card, which then brings a separate file into editing, and then you just sync it up and it's good to go for the edit, but not for raw footage because you can only play one clip at a time.
So today, as Amanda and Patrick profess their love for each other, they profess their love for all eternity.
For the ceremony and reception, we have multiple cameras recording all at the same time. You have the center aisle, the left aisle, right aisle. You have 3 different video files to watch, but you can only watch one at a time. And you have to watch it on your computer. You can't actually put it on a TV. All right, why does raw footage actually cost money? You mean, like, you already recorded the video at the wedding, so like, why can't we just have it? Which is a very fair argument, I understand. However, just because the clips did not make the final edit because it didn't necessarily fit the story doesn't mean that I didn't put a lot of hard work and time and thought into getting that shot. Okay, so is raw footage necessary to have? Is it important? Is it, is it whatever? So raw footage is a pain to navigate. It's a pain to watch. It's honestly just a very good keepsake, and this is probably the most important reason for raw footage, in my opinion. It's a backup of your wedding. I have multiple backups, multiple drives, just in case one drive goes down, I have another. However, an extra backup does not hurt. So in essence, it is just a keepsake. It's, I get it, it's important to have. It's important to have all of your raw footage, all of your wedding day in your own hand. You physically hold the drive in your hand. I completely get that. You're going to opt to watch the documentary edit because you can watch it fully edited, your entire ceremony, most of your reception, getting ready, first look. You can watch all of that in order, relive your entire wedding day. It'll probably be a few hours long because there's so much going on in the day, depending on how long your ceremony is. And you're gonna watch it on your TV with perfect audio, great lighting. All the angles are matched up and cut, so you can just enjoy each moment at the best angle when it happens. So that's it for me today, guys. I hope you learned something about raw footage and if it's the right thing for you. So, as always, feel free to like my Facebook page, Christian Gallic Films, follow me on Instagram, and go to my website, christiangallicfilms.com. See more great content, wedding films, Q&As, you know it. See you next time.
Oh man, 2018 Christian. No regrets, but I'm really glad that I got past the excessive arm waving. I mean, I know I talk with my hands, but that was too much. That was like, what am I doing? And then the hand in front of the lens to close it. It was a YouTube thing. I'm past it. I'm glad I'm past it. But that was the video that booked me over $10,000. And, the video quality was okay, but my personality was there, despite the excess of arm swinging. The personality was there, the passion was there, the points, the articulated points were there, and that answered the burning question of, do we need raw footage? So, at this point, I want to break down a little bit of how I made that video. Not necessarily like the technicals, but just the thought process and planning out and what am I actually going to say on camera. That's what I'm going to break down. So I pretty much took a notepad and sketched out the talking points. What is raw footage? And then, a bunch of sub points of like, it doesn't come with audio, it's raw, it's shaky, it isn't synced up. So what is raw footage? Why people, or why there's a charge for it? Like, why am I charging people for raw footage? And then, do people actually need it? I broke that down very clearly. And and pretty much mashed it up into a 4 or 5 minute video. When recording it, I didn't use a teleprompter. I had notes. I had an outline with general talking points, and I glanced at it, but I didn't put it up in front of the camera. I did not read word for word. I knew I was editing it, so I knew that I could get away with, like, reading a section, pretty much messing up, or flubbing some words and redoing it and then cutting around it. I knew I could do that. So I didn't want to use a teleprompter. And that was really to keep this like conversational. No, I mean, it wasn't live, it wasn't interactive, it was just me to a camera, but I wanted it to give that conversational vibe. I wanted to give that, kind of informal, personal, like, hey, I could be your friend kind of vibe. But I was nailing down the points. I was answering those burning questions. So that was the intention when I was in front of the camera. Luckily, and maybe not so luckily for me, I messed up a lot. I flubbed so many words. I was just awkward. I mean, that was a 5-minute video. It took probably 45 minutes of recorded footage of me trying to get through that 5-minute piece. And then likewise, or because of that, I brought it into editing, and I had to watch all 45 minutes and just be like, oh my God, Christian, what do you, ugh. Like, it was terrible. Like, I really had to muscle through it because it was just awkward. It was like, I don't like looking at the way I don't want to look at me on camera. I don't want to hear me. That's the way I felt. And I muscled through editing out all the crap, all the flubs, all the everything, except for those nuggets, those little clips that actually made sense. It felt like an eternity. Realistically, it took like an hour and a half. So from planning the content to shooting it to editing it, it was like probably an eternity. Actually, it took a half day. So that was pretty much like a bit of how I decided to make the video and what went behind it. Again, I wasn't fond, I wasn't keen of like looking at myself and hearing myself talk, but I knew that the message was there and I knew that it needed to be posted. So I posted it. And this is where the result comes in. The cha-ching moment. I didn't think it was going to be a cha-ching moment at that time, but I had the video. I said, okay, it's good. I'm uploading it to YouTube. And that's where I, host all my videos. That's where all of my videos live. And then I can just email links out and share links and whatnot. So uploaded it to YouTube. At that time, I had, I believe, three meetings lined up that week. Three couples, 3 brides that wanted to meet and talk about me potentially doing their wedding video. So, and they were actually in-person meetings, not Zoom calls, because this is pre-COVID, which was fantastic. I missed that so much. So we met in person. Before we met in person, before that week started, I sent all of them the video and I said, hey, I know you had this question and I know I talked about it a little bit in my response, but here's a video breaking down what it is, what it looks like, and I hope it's helpful. Sent it. I think I heard back from one of them saying, thanks, I'll check this out. Awesome. the week started, and I believe it was, I think it was my first meeting. It was just with the bride. Her fiance couldn't make it, and we went to a coffee shop, and we're just talking about details of the wedding, where it is, the timing, the everything that's involved, what I do, standard meeting conversation. There was a point where I just asked, hey, what did you think of the video I sent, or did you get a chance to watch it? Her face lit up, and she was like, oh my gosh, Christian, that video was so helpful. Like, we were actually thinking, Matt and I were actually thinking, like, we needed the raw footage, and then after watching your video, we decided, nah, we don't really need it. Which I was like, oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad it really helped. Now, if you're thinking, well, Christian, you idiot, you convinced them not to buy something. I convinced them that, no, I provided a resource. They decided, no, I don't need to spend $300. But don't worry, we will still spend $3,000+ with you, Christian. So it was a win in my book. I'm not worried about that little 300. So automatically I was like, oh, that's fantastic. I'm glad I helped. And then she said, honestly, Christian, I was a little nervous about meeting you. Like, I didn't know who you were. And then after watching this video, I realized, I was like, wow, you're really chill, you're calm. Like, I just felt totally comfortable meeting you after watching your video. And I mean, to be honest, before this meeting, like, we're already booking you. Like, we already made that decision. I just wanted to meet you in person and talk about details and stuff. But we already booked you. Like, we love your personality. We can't wait for you to film our wedding. My response, in the meeting, my response was just like, oh, thank you. That's really nice. Like, I was being all professional. Thank you. I really appreciate that. That makes me really happy. Great. Fantastic. In my head, I'm just like, holy shit, this works. Like, I was cloud 9 above. I don't know. Like, it was wild. And I'm just like blown away. But, in person, I'm like, oh, yes, thank you. I had to keep my cool. And, she gave me the signed contract, and gave me the check, and we were all set. And then the following 2 meetings that week, didn't have quite the reaction that, the first bride had, but they were both like, this is really helpful. I think one of them actually decided to buy the raw footage because of the video. They're like, yeah, we want it. Awesome. All 3 booked me, and that resulted in over $10,000 in 1 week. So it's just like, it was just mind blowing. And like, the following week, the rest of the checks came in, the signed contracts came in, and I was just like, hot damn, like, what a week. Blown away. Absolutely blown away. Like, it all came from one piece of video content breaking down a burning question that everyone has. Absolutely incredible. And I mean, needless to say, I continued making more videos after that. Another hit that I had was on the drone. Everyone asks about the drone. Do you have a drone? Do you fly drones at the wedding? And like, that was an easier question to answer, because it was like, yes, I do have a drone, but if it's bad weather, no, I'm not flying. People understood that. But I went on to make a video just explaining my whole, philosophy, my whole style behind it. Like, I'm here for the story first, not for the theatrical drone shots. Like, I'm here for you, I'm not gonna film you from like 100 feet in the air all day, because that would look terrible. I focus on the story and whatnot. So that was another very popular video, which you can also find on my YouTube, going down in the archives. So I'm checking, see if we have any questions. I'm also, for people on YouTube, I have a little Instagram. Hi, Instagram. I have a little Instagram live going as well, so I'm checking, see if there's any questions there. So I will do a little wrap up, and I know there's a delay on YouTube, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask, and I'll kind of scope them out while I'm wrapping this up. So this live stream, I broke down why I decided to hop in front of the camera and make a piece of video content. I talked about how I decided to make that piece of video content, what I was going to say, what that looked like. And then talked about cha-ching moment of posting it and booking those clients within a week. That was 2018. This idea of making a video for a burning question, for an FAQ, frequently asked question, the idea of making videos for your audience, for your potential customers, it's not a 2018 thing. It's a 2021 and beyond thing. Like, if you are seriously wondering right now, like, should I make videos? One, answer is always yes. But two, if you are thinking, should I make videos answering people's questions? Should I make videos of, me doing like a behind the scenes thing? The answer is yes. People want to see you as a person. They want to get to know you as a person. Of course, they want to learn about what you can do for them, but it's less about the service and more about the experience of the service. It's about trusting. I mean, really, it's actually a two-way street of trust, because as like a business owner, I want to trust my clients too, that they're, good to work with. But more so on the opposite end, for a client looking to hire me, yes, I may do great looking videos and I can, perform great service. But if they don't know who I am, if they don't like who I am, it's not going to be a great experience. And that is, I mean, quite frankly, you're just not going to get booked if you don't give that vibe of trust. You don't give that vibe of like, yes, let's work together. Video is the clearest medium to do that, other than being in person, which, right now we can't do. But even in person, you can't show your personality off at scale. That is what is so unique about video. Is I'm talking to how many people right now? I'm just in my office, but yet I'm reaching all of you. That's the power of video. So if you are interested in starting making videos today, fantastic. I will say that you need some gear to, just introductory gear. You don't need every fancy single tool in, the arsenal. Like, you don't need fancy equipment. You just need solid equipment, like a tripod, a microphone, a light, a camera, which you got a camera right here. Hi, Instagram. Here, you say hi. So if you want to start making quality video content today, share your expertise answer those burning questions and you know, don't really know where to get started on the gear aspect, if you go to christiangolic.com, I have something called the Entrepreneur's Video Survival Pack, which you can get. It's a free list of my favorite microphone, tripod, light, budget-friendly options of all those, and then using your phone to make that great video content. So, if you have any questions for me, if you have a burning question, for me, then definitely reach out. Of course, you can comment on YouTube right now, or make sure to subscribe to YouTube as well, and reach out to me on Instagram, LinkedIn, Twitter. I mean, you can reach out to me on Facebook. I'm not really on Facebook that much, but all at Christian Golic, and yeah, christiangolic.com for the Entrepreneur's Video Survival Pack. And I will see all of you in 2 weeks, 2 Wednesdays from now. I believe it's March 3rd, 12 p.m. Eastern, YouTube Live, maybe even Instagram Live. Who knows? Alrighty. Thanks for hanging out, and I hope you have a great rest of your week. See you guys later.